When we think about game-changing technology, we usually picture these giant corporations with endless budgets. But what happens when you take all that power, all that capability, and pack it into a small, affordable box? Well, today, we're going to dive into how this in-a-box revolution is completely changing the game for small healthcare clinics and what that means for all of us.
So, it all really starts with a simple question, but it's a super important one. Why can't that small local imaging center down the street use the same powerful tools as a massive hospital? The answer, it turns out, is a huge hurdle that's kept advanced healthcare tech out of reach for so many for so long. Okay, so at the very heart of this problem is something called a PACS system. The easiest way to think about it is like the digital brain and the central library for a clinic. Every single medical image, every x-ray, every single scan, it all gets stored, managed, and viewed through this one system. For modern medicine, it's not just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential. And this is exactly why that big hospital tech just doesn't work for the little guy. I mean, traditional PACS systems are insanely expensive. They demand these super high-end, pricey computers. The setup alone can drag on for weeks, sometimes even months. And what happens if your clinic actually starts to grow? Well, trying to scale up is a massive, costly nightmare. But what if you could take all of that complexity, all the cost, the time, the hassle, and, well, literally put it in a box? This really simple idea, turns out, is a major shift in thinking, and it's designed to solve these exact problems. So first up, let's really frame this. We have the small clinic's dilemma. The most powerful tools are just out of reach, and that limits their ability to serve their own communities. Which, of course, brings us to the hero of the story, the PACS in a box. So let's meet Freedom Pico. It's a perfect example of this whole new approach, and it's built on 3 really simple core ideas meant to fix all those old problems. It's affordable, it's compact, and it is seriously powerful, enough to give you big hospital results without any of the big hospital headaches. All right, so how does it actually pull this off? How does it work? Well, it's all about making the entire process, the entire workflow, incredibly simple. See, instead of trying to juggle a bunch of different, complicated systems, everything is built into one seamless flow. It starts with patient registration, moves to the actual imaging and archiving. Then the radiologist can create a report on literally any web browser. And finally, it gives doctors and patients super easy online access. It's all right there, in one place. And here it is, the difference in black and white. We're not talking about a small improvement here. We are talking about going from a setup process that takes weeks or even months to being fully up and running in a single day. That's not just better. That is a complete game changer. This table just lays it all out so clearly. The cost is way down, setup is just one day, and you can run the whole thing on simple tablets instead of those expensive workstations. But look at the last 2 rows, scalability and remote access. Pico is built to grow right alongside you, and it enables something called teleradiology. That means radiologists can look at scans and write reports from anywhere in the world, which is a feature most traditional systems just can't handle. Okay, so what kind of power are we actually talking about here? What's really packed inside this small box? Let's break down some of the key capabilities. Let's talk numbers. First one, 24. That is the number of hours it takes to go from opening the box to running a full-on diagnostic workflow. Just one day. Next number, 3. That's how many different types of imaging machines, or modalities as they're called in the biz, it can manage from one single system. So think X-ray, ultrasound, CT, all from one box. And finally, 10,000. That's how many imaging studies it can securely store right out of the box. And this is possible because it comes with 2 terabytes of what's called RAID 1 storage. All that really means is that every single piece of data is instantly duplicated onto a second drive for extra security. Talk about serious peace of mind. So what does this all add up to? Well, it means lower costs, it means you can get expert opinions from specialists anywhere in the world, and it means a much simpler, faster process for both the doctors and their patients. It really is an all-in-one solution that completely levels the playing field. But this isn't just about solving the problems you have today. Let's take a look at how this kind of approach actually sets up a small clinic for success in the long run. This is maybe one of the most crucial long-term benefits: growth.
You can start with Pico, and as your clinic gets busier and busier, you can upgrade to an even more powerful system without any downtime and without those risky, terrifying data migrations. The system just scales right along with your business. It's truly a future-proof investment.
And all of this really connects back to the bigger picture. The whole goal, as the creators themselves put it, is to provide comprehensive diagnostic capabilities where they are needed most. So this isn't just about selling a tech product. It's about using technology to make quality healthcare more accessible to everyone, everywhere. You know, this whole trend of packing immense power into a small, simple box is so much bigger than just healthcare. And it kind of leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. If medical imaging can be put in a box, what other complex, expensive technologies are next in line? Thanks for joining me.